Okay, well, I guess we'll just start. We tried moving a bit the time, but I guess this is the worst one yet. Perhaps we should just go to +1. Right now we are -1. Last week we were -2. I don't know. We'll see. In any case, so points for today. I'll go as usual. Let's go with the dev sync. So on my end, I finally finished R2 delegations. So that's done and ready for review. There's still a few things that I want to clean up, like comments and things here and there, but also documentation updates. But code-wise, it's, functionality-wise, it's done. I also did a merge request to add all of the accounts that are supposed to get airdropped. So this is done as well, ready for review. And now I'm mostly working on reviewing the Hardfork 24 changes. And also I need to find out how to make automated tests for my incoming delegation API call. What else? Yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay. We've got a fair laundry list of things that we're, I guess, getting close to being completed on. A lot of it's been done in the private repo, and we want to get that moved over to the public repo as soon as we can. Sort of aggressively, I'm hoping we can do it by Monday. And at that point, I think we'll have most of our changes done, if assuming no problems. So I'm thinking I'd like if all the other changes from everyone else are in at that point, it might make sense to set up a test net sometime early next week, and then operate that for say a week or two, and then so basically like a code freeze on Monday, if that's okay with everyone, and then run a test net for a bit, and then actually do the actual hard fork, maybe another 2 weeks after that.
Yeah, I'm down for that. That was the tentative date anyways, the 25th.
Oh, good. So as far as the changes, I guess mostly it's, the bigger things are known. The chain ID change, of course, delayed voting. There's been some improvements for checking invariants to be sure that we don't break anything. We're going to merge in the seed nodes that from that merge, and also the accounts to be airdropped. We're still waiting on one proposal that just got submitted, I guess, but I think that'll probably wind up in the next week or so. We'll know on that too. So, let's see. Rebranding changes are done in our private repo, so that'll come out as a part of the process. The chain ID is now available via condenser API Get version, and that's same as well. We've done a bunch of memory optimizations that'll be coming back when we merge that in. And then as far as other new features that'll be coming in, we can safely interrupt replay now. That's working. There's also another operation called block log indexing generation, which is a file that gets generated when you start up if it gets mangled or whatever. So we can interrupt that as well now. And we've got support for resuming a replay from the last process block. And we're still finishing up, but we're very close on state snapshot generation and loading.
So you would have memory improvement and resume replay changes for 24 as well?
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. Did you get any more improvements than last time? I'd love to see a comparison, like memory per memory.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen the latest, and there's still probably one more change I think they're talking about doing as well. So I'll be interested to see what the results are on Monday myself, if I don't get anything
Okay.
sooner.
How extensive is the rebrand? Is it basically every reference to Steam change?
Yeah, it's extensive. I don't know. There might have been something left behind, but in one point. I know there was one thing that was looking kind of messy, and I didn't find out if they managed to work around that one or if we're just going to leave it the way it is. But I mostly, I would say 99% changed. Oh, a couple other things. Let's see. We're making some slight changes to the proposal API to fix some problems in it, mainly for better pagination of when in list proposals API, and that'll get merged back in as well. So that's another thing that'll need testing to be sure. I mean, it shouldn't break anything as far as I know, but it's certainly something we want to make sure everybody's tested with their applications. And then one more change I threw in lately was the proposal vote counting change to, I think we're going to do that as well, which will basically mean that proposal votes will be counted will be returned by the API before a proposal becomes active, so you can see how many votes are on a proposal before it actually goes active.
Before it becomes active, or before the maintenance with no window thing?
Before it becomes active. So right now, like they got all these proposals that aren't active yet, and you can't tell unless you go look at some specialized app that's figured it out for you. But the front ends are basically having to do that themselves right now, which is kind of silly.
So yeah, regarding the proposals, I guess this is a good segue. I was thinking of like adding into Hotfog 24 the fact that proposals no longer get purged when they are expire. So we actually get a history of past proposals and their voters, etc. It helps build a backlog for people to know who did what in the past.
Yeah, I think it's some level that's a good idea. I was thinking rather than actually do it in Hive D itself, we might do that in Hive Mind, because it's just sort of like that way we don't have to keep it in memory anymore. But we could Hive Mind API can serve up that data.
Yeah, true. I guess this is in the bigger Hive Mind changes part.
Yeah, and the good thing about doing it that way is we really don't even have to. It doesn't have to be part of the hard fork per se. It can just be additional API information we serve up, by a Hive Mind change. So it's not a consensus change.
Yeah, so in terms of issues that opened in the last few weeks, first of all is allow users to change the proposal title that was proposed by guilty parties. Basically, the idea is that there is a lot of proposals that may have made a typo, or the motivation for their proposal may change a bit, or for instance, some of them have Steam in their titles, and they may want to change that. I don't think it's a big change, but at the same time, I feel like it could bring some, deceive people a bit, whereas they get vote for one thing and then do another.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, but I guess someone could always change most of their proposal anyways to say something different. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm more concerned about it just from a making the change point of view and figuring out. I mean, I think it could make sense as part of the other request, which to be able to reduce the amount of a proposal. I guess this would all probably fall under the update proposal kind of API call.
Yeah, I was going to add that in too. Somebody else suggested reducing the payout, not being able to increase it, but be able to reduce it. That might be kind of a good change to fit together.
Yeah, so let's say update proposal up could be worth it, where you can basically change everything in the proposal, and the price has to be lower than it is currently, lower or equal. Like you could even change the permalink as well.
Yeah. So all that's, I think, up there.
That's an interesting change. I'll write it down on the dates. Because right now we have like 2-3 stories that could be bundled together. There is also one that wants to allow linking more than one permalink per proposal. This one I don't think we should do.
Yeah, I disagree with that too.
That was by Borislav Zlatanov. Yeah, because realistically, we could just have one post and have a lot of permalinks below it, as you said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So reduce. Yeah. Let's make a propository for an update proposal up, basically. Then, while we're on proposals, what are your thoughts of increasing the creation cost by 1 HBD for each day that lasts over X amount of days? We got quite a bit of what Fluctuate thinks.
I don't personally see any issue with that. It makes a lot of sense, but there's been a lot of you said X amount of days. Is it gonna, 10 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and then what would the cost be? Then at that point, $1 a day. Then there's a lot of stuff to figure out with it, but I like the theory of it. It makes a lot of sense.
I was thinking 60 days, because that's 2 months. That's pretty much what a proposal that's not like a very big ongoing proposal should last. Like let's say a small marketing proposal or market outreach or whatever. That lasts for 60 days. And then afterwards, it's like +1 HBD per extra day. And in the end, the actual price doesn't matter that much, because I assume the user would just compound it in the proposal payout. It's just a matter of how confident you are you can get to payout.
Yeah, I think that summarizes it pretty well. Yeah, so it seemed to be, I kind of got the feeling just looking over people's comments that the people who did comment, it seemed like 60 days sounded like around a number that most people seemed comfortable with. But yeah, so I mean, I guess I'm assuming we're not talking about for 24 for either of these last two changes. Neither one's really huge changes, so if somebody did want to tackle them, I think we could probably fit them in, though.
Yeah, I guess I could do that. Yeah, I guess that wouldn't be too hard to do. Yeah, and also speaking of which, in the end, I was against adding the slow converse to Hardfork 24 and just postponing it. But seeing how we are currently above the inflation threshold, I'm afraid that by the time we'll reach Hardfork 25, we'll have some proposals that won't get funded, or it's just a shame because we have enough funds to fund everyone, just in the form of Hive and not HBD. And so I think it would make sense to have that change to Hardfork 24.
Yeah, I think that actually is a good idea. I agree.
So, what's the status on it again, Etuezo?
Done. Just needs to be fully tested before it can be added in for production. But like you said, we're kind of talking about getting a code candidate ready and having a test net for that. So we'll be able to do all that. But,
okay, great.
Done, tested. Done needs to be tested.
Okay, I'll add that to the release notes, quote unquote. Oh yeah, we should write a release note for 24 when we do test net. I guess Blocktrade, you'll be better suited to do that.
I'm sorry, somebody said something to me, so I had to mute briefly. What was the last question?
I guess we should write a release note, because I've had quite a few users being like, yeah, I don't really know what I know Hardfork 24 is very soon, but I don't quite know what's happening.
Yeah, I think we should. I mean, we definitely should have a post up that what's there. I'm thinking Monday would be probably the time to do it, since we'll have a
the usual testnet is up. Come try it out. Nobody will try it out, but they'll know what's up.
Yeah.
Okay. That one was by Asgarth. He wanted a node status page, to which Blocktrade, you replied that we have created a few services. But I think it's a good point that we should have that in like a very recognizable place, like hive.io. I think we should try to port that code, whatever it is, and have it there.
Well, the thing is, there's a different kinds of services. So like one is like a web service. And so the web services, I guess, could just be listed there, right? We could have links to various people who are running status pages. But then there's other ones, like one of the guys actually publishes his results of his, I think, on chain. So It's not really something you can link to in that case, but it's kind of cool. It means it's something it's an API can actually query and get the information.
Yeah, I guess it's a lot of work for a relatively simple task. And also, you don't, if you go out of your way to make an API, then might as well query the nodes themselves.
Well, I think he's publishing it just via custom JSON.
Oh, okay. So that's interesting. That was my page. Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, I think you're right. Just adding links. I feel like just adding links from Hive.io to those pages should be sufficient.
I'll make an issue for that. Who's managing the repo right now? It's you, right?
Which repo?
The Hive.io. Who's hosting it?
No, I'm not particularly managing it. I don't know who it is. Maybe the real wolf.
Most likely. Yeah, that rings a bell. Okay, final thing is basically an idea that was shared a bit. Basically, have a referral system. Our idea is about putting it as on top of the front ends, where each front ends have like their own custom JSON tag and creation, so we know who created it and who and if there are referrals and automatically set beneficiaries. But it could also be done at the chain level to basically be sure that it's enforced. Referrals are very cool for marketing, and it's very hard. Basically, the idea is that it's very hard to enforce such a system across all of the front ends. So I guess this would be a relatively good candidate to be done at the chain level, but it's not that much of a big change, but it requires a few modifications and it to be like correctly done, basically, like a lot of brainstorming on it. But I just wanted to get like a bit of your thoughts on it.
I haven't spent much time thinking about it personally yet. I did see the issue, but I haven't looked it over much or thought about it much. I mean, there was previous referral systems I've worked in like BitShares, for instance, but I don't really have any comments on it yet at this moment. I don't know about maybe somebody else.
I mean, is it intended to be kind of blockchain level for the referral system?
Well, yes and no. Basically, there are two ideas, and one of them include being at the blockchain level.
So, I mean, when you say at the blockchain level, do you mean actually enforcing something like fund-wise at the blockchain level, or do you just mean reporting at the blockchain level?
Fund-wise at the blockchain level. Basically, let's say you create an account and you say, okay, and I'll be the referral, like you said, whatever option. And then for, let's say, 2 months, whenever the guy makes a comment or a post, 5% of it goes back to you, or any percent.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's somewhat similar to the concept in BitShares.
Yeah, so it's basically just kind of enforced beneficiary then. So it's not really something that can be Sybil attacked, because if you can, get votes anyway, there's no point to use the referral system.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it sounds like a pretty good idea. A lot of brainstorming and thinking about it needs to be done, but like you said, if it's something that exists in BitShares and there's already some kind of real world information that can be reaching, evaluated.
How do they do it in BitShares? It's like every percent of a trade?
Yeah, yep. I'm trying to remember the details. Abit might could comment better than me. But when you basically, there's actually 2 refers in there but let's just keep it simple. Just talk about one. So the guy who created the account would basically receive a portion of like the trades, like you said. I think it's actually just fees in general you pay. So it's not like percentage of, like if you did a large trade that you wouldn't get anything for that. But what you would get is there's a fee paid for every operation in BitShares, and you get a percentage of that fee as his refer up to, and they can like buy out that too. It's a fairly complicated system, so you can basically buy out the person who's been created. You can pay like a fixed fee and basically buy it out. So it's capped. The amount you can make that way is capped.
Oh, so Yeah, so you set a referral, you earn X BTS, and the guy can be faster and just buy it out. I
Yeah.
assume at a lower price.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I think the buyout idea is interesting also for Hive, because if you become like a big creator, you may not want to.
In fact, I guess this is coming. Yeah, that's what that buyout. You see, I'm reading the actual issue right now, and that's what the buyout part is talking about there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think that's an interesting idea for Half of 25, of course. I might. I'm assigning myself. I'll probably work on that if I find stuff interesting in it. I mean, good discussions around it. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have for today on my end. Do you have anything else?
I don't.
I guess I'll just add in and say that obviously a lot of you are probably aware by now the Hive application for the Ledger Nano S has been, I would say, 98% completed. There's still possibly some bugs in there. You know, Hive has 40 or 58 different type of operations, you know, so I have to go through and test every single one of them, make sure it's all good. Holger has already integrated the application with Beam. So if you want to do some dev testing, you can sideload the app onto the Nano S and you can use Beam without having any keys imported into your Beam wallet. All you do is just use the ledger to sign if you've gone through the proper setup and it all works. It's very nice, but it'll be a lot nicer whenever the next stage of the work is complete, which is dealing with Ledger HQ and actually talking with them. And I've already got 2 contacts that I'm talking with right now, and I have to fill out the paperwork that they have for the application process to get the Hive app on Ledger Live. Once it's on Ledger Live, the installation couldn't be any easier. You know, you just open Ledger Live, you just click install Hive, and then you're good to go. At that point, I will hopefully have the integration finished with Vessel before it's even in Ledger Live, so you'll be able to use Vessel or Beam or, you know, anything else, and possibly Keychain by then if other users, you know, get that added in there. As of now, though, that's a lot of business development relationship type stuff going on, not so much dev work, code dev work. So I'll start going and looking at the repo and seeing any unassigned issues and start kind of pulling them onto my workload and knocking those out. You brought up earlier how the what's the name of it? What am I thinking? The DAO conversion, the DAO conversion process. I need to go ahead and get that tested more locally. So I'll probably do some more with that. But yeah, like I said, dealing with Ledger leaves me with a lot of dev time. So I'll be pulling extra issues. Send anything my way if you need some help on anything.
Cool. So if you integrate with Vessel, does that mean you'll do some Steam.js or the Hive changes?
Actually, yes. The only way that it'll really work easily is through Steam.js, because that's what Vessel uses. So I'll actually go ahead and put the signing in there. But I think, sorry, I'm a butcher his name. Kwakoi. I don't know how to pronounce this. No one can do it. Whatever. But I believe he's already got the JavaScript side done, because he's or maybe not done, but it's working on his little development application that he's got. So you can use the Ledger Nano S and execute a transfer via JavaScript in the browser on his example. So with all that being done as is, then he could probably add it to Steam.js and shit, probably, you know, 15, 20 minutes, depending on how complicated and annoying Steam.js is. So he might take that over. And if he does, then in my opinion, that's the entry point for Keychain to work and Vessel to work and everybody else to use, you know, Ledger with their websites as well.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Like if we could have PDD and Condenser working with it. That's basically the whole ecosystem, apart from a few apps here and there.
Yeah, exactly. Once it's in Steam.js, since Condenser uses that Hive blog, and I don't know if PeakD uses Steam.js or if they use dsteam or not, but either way, I mean,
actually don't
they can add that in there to check to see if your ledger is present, and they can just assume that you're logged in. For instance, like say your account's set up and it's in the cache, you know, maybe they don't even have to have you log in anymore because the ledger is proof that you have the device. And then whenever it goes to actually execute a transaction, of course, the ledger would sign it. So I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things that can be done from there. The major part, I believe, being getting it on Ledger Live, the application on Ledger Live.
Do you know if there is a chance that we get denied?
No, I don't think it'll be denied, but it'll have to go through basic scrutiny. You know, they want me to kind of have it peer reviewed. I don't know how many C developers we have. It's not C++. So I don't know if somebody's familiar with C, if they're familiar with you know, pointers and you know, passing around things through functions in that way. It's a little bit different than what most people are used to. But if I can get that reviewed quicker, then they also do an internal review. You know, they obviously know how their applications look, so they can look at it. They can run their fuzzers or their memory exhausters and see, you know, what kind of bugs are created. They probably won't do, you know, very much line for line trying to figure out every possible error that could ever crop up. But if their scripts don't set off any red flags, I'm sure it'll get approved quicker. But as far as rejection, I don't see rejection being in the cards at all. It fully conforms with their application style. It fully fits with all of their recommendations, and it implements the path derivation and all that correctly. So there's no reason it should be denied.
Okay, great. One more subject I wanted to talk about was HiveMind. It's kind of all the rage. So we discussed a bit about a few things in the Mattermost channel. Mainly, I don't know how you are, if you are done with optimizing bug traits, or if others can try to do things, because I'd like to, if I don't have any issues on Steam Core, I might want to shift a bit and try to get HiveMind more performing. I'd like to try MyRocks first of all, and then I'd like to try the modular thing. Like,
I think switching between the, I mean, we're I don't know. I think we'll probably be able to get our HiveMind changes in certainly by Monday, if not sooner. But I'm thinking actually, if you just want to test switching the database, you can probably do it as is, right? Because it's, if you're looking for a fairly transparent change.
Yeah,
I mean, it could have different performance characteristics, of course, at the end. But I think if you're just looking for a raw, is it better than before? I think you can probably get that answer now.
Oh yeah, I know, but I just want to know how finished you are with it, to know if I can, if as soon as I find out that there may be a better performance, I can just start working and making a.
We're quite close, I would say. Yeah, well, like maybe this week we'll bring those changes back into the well, probably we'll do it on Monday, because the thing is, so some of the changes we've done don't really care about the changes to Hive-D, but some do. So like some of the things we've taken out of Hive-D, we've added into HiveMind, and that still might be okay, because maybe I'm thinking about it that it's probably in such a way that we're basically just adding an API to HiveMind that could just be ignored until you actually need it. So maybe we could get it in this week. I don't know. I'll have to see.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess we'll see how that goes.
I mean, if you're looking for something, if somebody is looking for something else, that update proposals could be one that somebody could pick up probably pretty easily.
Yeah, I think I'll probably do that this week. Update proposal plus the time thing. I'll make a post today, I think, to get some feedback from the wider community, and then I'll just because I can just code now and then tweak the constants later on.
Right. Yeah, it's just parameterizable.
Yeah, let's all aim to be ready for Monday. Monday, tentative code freeze testnet app. We do. Do we want to do an exceptional meeting that's not about syncing, but more about what is done, what is ready, and makes the notes, the changelog?
Yeah, I think Monday's probably a good time for that. If that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, as you guys wish. We can probably organize that by text. So
Yeah.
we don't really need to like meet at a specific time.
No, I think we can do it through text.
Yeah, let's do it through text. Plus, we can just get a HackMD out and get some of those people who know how to write to review it.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Okay, that's about it for me. Half an hour, so that's pretty good. Anything else from anyone?
Keep your eyes open for the upcoming Steam fork.
Yeah. When is it? Is it in 2 days, right?
Yeah, 2 days, 20th.
Actually, you should look up the on the Slack. They have a list of several accounts that supposedly are going to get wiped. So I don't know.
Huh.
Well, this is the dev call, and these are kind of rumors now. I was just trying to be funny, but I don't have anything else to add.
Just look it up.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Anyways, thank you all, and see you in 2 weeks. By this point,
Thanks.
we'll probably
Take
be
care.
hot forking. As it's the 1st of June. Woo. Okay, bye.
Bye.